Good morning, my friends. How are you? So, I want to talk about what goes on in the brain during a reset weekend and then reentry when you get back. Okay. And I want to just tell you what I'm looking at on my hands. All right, my fingernails, which I cut while I was away, are dirty. I came home to staining and I'm stained. And there's this right here. Not sure what that was from. Anyway, and came home to gardening. Okay. So when I was away, and actually on my way out, right? I on the ride up, I think I was sharing with you guys the book I was reading and the messages that I saw. And a book that, our book club book, So Believe It, was a book that really resonated with me. I got a chance to finish the book. And we will be talking about it hopefully on a panel this Friday. So make sure that you come on Friday at 6:30. And part of it had to do with believing in yourself, sometimes when no one else does, and also believing in your gut and in your instinct and in your like your true north. And so that's really easy to do when you're up on a mountain and there's no social media, there's no phone calls, there's no text messaging, there's no stimulation from somewhere else. And there's no external factors to throw you off your beam that much. And so that was a lot of what this weekend was like. And one thing I do when I'm up north is we have like set like out in the field, we have an in-ground, if you will, uh, trampoline. So there's a hole dug underneath it and the trampoline lays on top. So it's flush with like the land. Um, and I always do morning yoga on there, a morning meditation, morning yoga, because there's something about doing the trampoline yoga, which just activates and stabilizes the body. And it's just a really comfortable feeling. So I was fortunate enough to do that every day. And for those of you who've been following for a while, I generally have as a ritual getting up at 5:30 in the morning to do yoga. And part of it has to do with when I broke my back. It is really, truly my medicine. So I need to do it. But I get away from it, like, especially with these long days and with teaching at night and just again, the things going on is I've gotten away from getting to bed in time to comfortably get enough sleep to get up at 4:30. So I get away from it sometimes. And I say, well, I've got all day. I'll sink it in. And this office has probably about 20 yoga mats here and balls. And so there's no reason why I can't insert it into the day, but I don't, because the day takes over and the actions of the job take over. And for me, part of what I've tried to do is that mindfulness of when I'm at work, and when I'm off work, don't work, right? Because I have found that makes things much better for me. I'm much more focused at work and I'm much more relaxed when I'm home and I'm much more present. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Okay, so great thing. So yes, I got up this morning at 4:30. Now, I want you to picture this with me. I actually get up early. I get up at 4:17, and I did not go back into bed. I just get up. And so my daughters had said that the bathroom toilet was leaking while we were gone. Okay, so picture this, right? Really get along great the whole time we were gone. My husband and I coming home, everything's great, and then things just like stimulation starts happening, And the first thing is the bathroom toilet is leaking. All right, so think we fix it. So hold on to that, right? So this is one thing. So then I go downstairs at 4:30 to do the yoga, and I hear it leaking on the ground. And I do the yoga in the dark, right? So I use my light on my flashlight to get downstairs to get to my center, which is already set up, but I want to do it in dark. I hate light, especially when I'm doing yoga, right? So so I'm like drip, 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 drip. And I'm like, just push it out of your mind, push it out of your mind. Go through your practice, and then you can deal with it later. Drip, drip, drip. Anyway, so now I knew that I had to deal with that it was not in fact fixed, that there's probably been a weekend's worth of leaking going on over in the corner of the basement where there's a bunch of stuff stored. So drip, drip. Okay, so you get where I'm going, right? So my brain is going like, okay, I cannot recreate my moments of being in the sunshine, laying / moving on the trampoline in a field of wildflowers, looking up at the mountains. It's just not happening. All right, so there's that piece of reentry. The second part is that we have a listing coming on this week, and there's been a lot of things to do to get ready for this listing, and there just seems to be that it was not okay for those sellers that I was gone. And so I got tortured a little bit last night, and I'm tortured today. And again, ergo the staining, right? First thing we get home, we're going to go stain something. And it's something that I had agreed to. And so and again, always practicing gratitude of having these listings and being able to help people in the way that we can. So balancing that, and of course, my husband's reentry is, he's the kind of guy drives down the driveway and sees that the driveway has grown and wants to get out and mow the lawn, so he doesn't want to be there with me doing this. Anyway, second thing that happened, third thing is that we had made this decision to not have a garden this year, like a vegetable garden. So I was going to make it a sunflower garden. And I bought sunflower seeds, all different kinds, so that I could really have like just this visual manifestation of this yellow that we've been working on and this coming out of the storm. And so we picked up a few plants to do our favorite vegetables. Okay. And I have an herb garden going, but I was not going to do the full on vegetable garden. And now we have, there was a surplus of plants that someone was gracious enough to give us. So at 8:00 last night, we're back out in the place where the garden goes, picking rocks up, getting ready to roller till it again, getting ready for, drum roll, a garden. Okay. So I sat down for a moment last night. And again, so we're picking up again, back to the dirty fingernails, back to being dirty again. And again, we're dirty the whole time we're gone. So dirty is okay with me, but it's like, so now it's like, all right, so leaky toilet. Garden has to get planted, and all the things that go with that. Okay. We have to get all the extra steps that we need to do to get done, because I did in fact go away when there was stuff on the checklist, right? So that has to get done. So it's really hard when that happens to remember that peace and that inner cup being full. The reentry is always hard for me, and I think it is for everyone else. And so I came home, and I just want to share this last story with you. So my daughter and I both have ADD. I think she's got ADHD. I've got ADD. It's something that we've worked on as a family, she and I, to manage and manifest like what we want, to be able to work with it and maybe use it as a superpower rather than as an issue. So we're there, and she's got a new job, and she's got to get her stuff to wear to work. And she's stressing because she's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to wear. And, that I need to get like, it's like on brand, and I got to blah, blah, blah. And outside, my husband's on the mower, right? She's going like, oh my God, I'm overstimulated. I cannot organize my thoughts. Like, I don't like, and she's going, I can't do that. Like, and she's freaking out. And in me, that's how I'm feeling, because everything's everywhere. Everything's, So the first thing I want to say is internally, what I think is really important to do is really take a step back and organize and settle in, and one step at a time. And don't, like for me, like I started getting really sensitive to, like, it was like almost like the Vermont Dan was gone and the Rochester Dan was back, and I'm like, do not get sensitive. Just realize that we're all struggling with this reentry, and then my second part is get back to the rituals. Last week I told on myself that I'd kind of gotten away from it. And over the weekend, I really sorted and organized and redid like where I wanted stuff in my organizer, my planner. So I take my pages out, put them back in, reorganize them. So I reorganized them, cleaned them up, which of course is just like a like a spiritual practice for me, wiping that down. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I just was, so I'm ready for this week, and I'm ready to hit those, again, hit my moments so that we can keep things going and remember like the magic that we found on the mountain and bring it back and have some fun with it and enjoy that this crazy chaotic life is what we chose when we chose this profession. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow. I hope that you can relate. I hope that, this is a little bit long, so I'm sorry. I hope that you can relate to some of it. Heather, thank you for being here. And thank you for covering for me while I was gone. I probably put you in the nastiest and foulest of moods while I was gone as well. All right, sorry about that. All right, see you guys later. Have an amazing day.